Hello, I'm Alicia Bubb. I'm the Supervisor of School Innovation for the Elmira City School District, as well as the project coordinator on the New York State Learning Technology Grant, where our project is titled the ReSet Project. What is the ReSet Project? ReSet stands for Reimagined and Systemic Educational Transformation through Technology. Our district partnered with the Warner School of Education from the University of Rochester to transform instructional practices at grades 9 through 12 through integration of educational technology, resulting in digitally rich and responsive learning environments. Programming over the 3-year grant period would support the integration of educational technology and blended learning practices across core subject areas, including English, mathematics, science, and social studies to address identified student needs, including the need for increased engagement, expanded access to instruction in core subject areas, and college and career readiness. Let's take a listen.
This video is intended to give you a sense.
Let's take a listen as our partner from the University of Rochester Warner School of Education gives us an overview of our ReSet project.
What to expect as a participant in the ReSet project. This project differs from typical PDs as it is a systemic change project aiming to achieve district-wide change in the use of technology to support student learning. As such, it has multiple components. Here, we will focus just on one of these components, the year-long PD for high school teachers, which is going to be offered multiple times during the project. To get the most out of using technology in the classroom, this PD aims to help teachers develop a few high-leverage teaching practices that are applicable in almost any instructional unit, regardless of grade or subject area. The practices we chose to target, given their high value and potential to be enhanced by technology, are eliciting student prior knowledge, providing directions for independent work, conveying content online, sharing student work, synthesizing learning, and giving feedback. To ensure maximum impact on practice, we designed the program to include both a summer institute and follow-up Zoom sessions during the school year, where participants can discuss their classroom implementations. Key lessons learned will be shared by each participant in a final showcase event, with their presentations being recorded so other teachers can benefit from it. We purposefully designed this PD with no required in-person meetings, although there will be plenty of opportunities for participants to be actively engaged and to collaborate in the synchronous online sessions. We made this decision both to increase access and convenience, and to enable participants to experience as learners the power of online learning. As such, our Summer Institute is intended to be the equivalent of 3 days for a total of 18 PD hours. However, it takes place over 2 weeks and includes participation in 3 2.5-hour sessions, along with independent asynchronous work in between those sessions. So please make sure that you can commit to and plan for this individual work as well. This combination of synchronous and asynchronous online components is intended to provide participants with an experience as learner of the potential and limitations of these different types of online learning. Each participant will also become part of a professional learning community, or PLC, comprising of teachers in the same subject area facilitated by a mentor. There will be many opportunities throughout the summer institutes, as well as over the school year, for PLCs to work together. Throughout the project, Padlet will be used in lieu of a learning management system to model what an LMS could do without requiring participants to learn to navigate the new one. As participants work at applying what they learned during the school year, there will be 5 1.5-hour Zoom sessions, about one every other month, designed to provide opportunities for each PLC to share and discuss these experiences, as well as benefit from additional instruction about specific themes. This year-long project will involve a different commitment than most PDs, and participants' compensation will reflect the time to be devoted not just to meetings, but also the required independent work. From past experiences, we know that this design is more conducive to make a real difference in teaching practices. So we hope that you will be willing to engage in it for the ultimate benefit of your students.
As we can see here, we had 3 goals to our project or to our ReSet project. In year 2, we were approved a program modification that included Elmira as the sole participating district due to the lack of participation from neighboring component districts. However, the overall goals remained unchanged, and they are as follows: to increase capacity to implement and sustain instructional practices that lead to digitally rich learning environments in high school classrooms, to create capacity to transition to educational practices that leverage the power of technology to increase access to the learning for all students. And the third goal, to use educational technology in classrooms that will increase access to learning and positive outcomes for all students. Within our project, our participants consisted of classroom teachers as well as coaches from our high school buildings, 9 through 12. Our participants joined us in a year-long experience to learn ways to leverage technology for engagement and purposeful instruction in their classroom. We joined with a mentor from the University of Rochester's Warner School for Education, as well as using our instructional coaches from Elmira City School District to learn ways to design lessons that incorporate instructional technology with a purpose through high leverage teaching practices. Responsibilities for our participants included attending a summer institute, equivalent to a 3-day summer institute spanning over 2 weeks, includes 3 2.5-hour Zoom sessions plus asynchronous work in between sessions. Participants will be compensated for both live sessions and asynchronous work completed on their own time. They also were meeting monthly and experiencing professional development opportunities within their PLC groups. These sessions will advance knowledge of digital resources and classroom experiences related to one of the 5 targeted teaching practices. You will have support in preparation of lessons and resources to help modify classroom implementation. So during those PLCs, it was the Warner School of Education from the University of Rochester mentors that met with our participants to work through the professional development practices in incorporating technology within the teaching practice. Over the 3-year period, a total of 31 teachers and 4 administrators participated in the grant. The majority of participants represented the Elmira City School District, with 21 teachers and 2 administrators participating in the grant for at least 1 year. By the end of year 3, there were 14 active participants, 12 teachers and 2 administrators, with the teachers developing and implementing more than 50 lesson plans over the 3-year period that incorporated the use of technology to differentiate instruction or assessment. The mentor and PLCs proved to be extremely effective in supporting and assisting participants in the creation of high-quality lesson plans. 83% rated this very effective as a rating. All of the goals and objectives of the grant were met with fidelity and included the development of expertise in leveraging technology to create and curate instructional materials, the design of digitally rich assessments, and the promotion of collaborative learning. Further, participants acquired technology competencies to more effectively implement technology-integrated instruction and increase their ability to evaluate and select effective educational technology to support instruction in specific subject areas. As a result of the implementation of these digitally rich lesson plans, the student achievement goals were met among students of participating teachers, and included an overwhelming majority of students using technology to complete basic workplace-related tasks. These students are also meeting the new digital literacy standards, increasing their ability to think critically, collaborate, create, and communicate, and exhibiting strong and consistent engagement. Here's a recap of our goals. And more importantly, here are some testimonials from teachers. I have learned that the power and importance of the deliberate use of technology in the classroom. The COVID pandemic forced us into using technology, any technology, for instruction. The ReSet project allows teachers to reflect on technology and become strategic in its use. I am being more deliberate in choosing technology tools and recognizing that technology is best used to increase the efficiency of high leverage teaching practices. I'm using what I've learned about technology instruction to create more purposeful lessons and be more conscious about how I decide to use technology instruction in the classroom. PICRAT model helps me identify new ways to use technology for creative and augmented ways for learning. High leverage teaching practices made me stop and think about technology not just being used for the sake of saying, oh, yep, check mark, I used technology. Looking at our survey results, we had our teachers, all 100% participants, expressing satisfaction with their learning technology grant ReSet experience. Several participants expressed their testimonials in an open-ended format and their excitement and appreciation for being part of this learning opportunity. Some of the tips for how to implement this program, as well as any pitfalls to avoid. When we started this in year one, we had some pretty rigid set times that our PLCs would meet each month as a whole group, and then we would break out into breakout rooms with each subject area and their mentor, focusing on specific topics and having a guided agenda for all of our PLCs. We noticed that due to circumstances and due to life after school, that it became increasingly difficult for participants to meet during a lot of these times. So one of our tips was to move to a more flexible meeting schedule. Our participants worked with their mentors and developed their own times to meet. We used a Microsoft form to record the dates and times that they met, the goals for their meeting, who was in attendance, any notes and things that were needed for us to know about, and then what their next steps were. So this made it a more flexible experience for our participants, and we saw that to be a huge positive going into years 2 and 3. Also at the beginning, we conducted assignments and learning while we were in those synchronous Zoom sessions. We quickly moved that to creating more of an asynchronous learning environment with learning modules that were completed by teachers on their own time. And then when they were able to meet with their mentors, they used those modules and their experiences to discuss their learning and to develop their goals and address any needs throughout that meeting time. When looking at our survey results, 92% of participants said the extent to which they developed expertise in leveraging technology to create and curate instructional materials was very great. They had a great extent of new knowledge in that area. All participants said that they developed expertise in leveraging technology to promote collaborative learning And almost all, at 92%, said they acquired technology competencies to more effectively implement technology integrated instruction. They developed expertise in leveraging technology to design and implement digitally rich assessments and increase their ability to evaluate and select effective educational technology to support instruction in their subject area. So let's take a look at our artifacts and view some of our completed projects. These were our year one showcase presentations. You can see here that we had staff using Nearpod, and their focus was on using discussion primers in Nearpod to elicit thinking and initiate conversation. We also use Poll Everywhere to build classroom discussions, Google Forms for Jamboard, Satori, integrating Satori into curriculum. And then we had some math teachers that were utilizing Desmos for developing understanding through exploration. Flip, formerly Flipgrid, specifically Flip Punts, were used to engage students. And then how to use our OneDrive using shared documents as a reflection tool. In year two, our projects consisted of the following. We had a Holocaust research project. We had a project where the ELA teacher used a digital notebook to enhance student collaboration. Our library media specialist joined us this year, and she did a project on how to research in Google. Our social studies department developed choice boards for innovative assessments. iReady was used in math classes to develop math station rotations. And we had one of our coaches develop Wakelet and blended learning model experiences. In year three, our final year of the Learning Technology Grant, our social studies participants used their OneDrive to develop Enduring Issues essay and develop feedback. So they were able to use the Word comment structure in order to develop and engage with students through the feedback process electronically. One of our ELA teachers developed an active reading instructional tool using Wakelet, using Desmos for curriculum for our math department. One of our global studies teachers used Edpuzzle to develop student engagement through Enduring Issues. An ELA teacher used Padlet as a discussion board to enhance that discussion back and forth process. Another ELA teacher using technology to improve the Socratic seminar. We had some AI built in as well with one of our business teachers taking a look at Magic School and how AI could be utilized in instruction. And our coach introduced AI in education and developed a PD series for educators, opening the door for teacher-facing tools for staff. In total, the 12 participating teachers developed and implemented more than 50 lesson plans that incorporated the use of technology to differentiate instruction or assessments. All 100% of our teacher participants said that the lessons that they developed and demonstrated through this grant provided students with opportunities to use content to create new projects or reinforce the development of 21st century skills. To continue our work, we have our ReSet sustainability plan, where we will promote more effective teaching practices supporting biotechnology in Elmira high schools by leveraging the expertise and resources developed through the ReSet Learning Technology Grant. So what we have developed is a semester-long focus on developing effective ways to use technology to enhance one of the high leverage teaching practices. We will be starting in September with the sharing student work. So here is what we have worked out from September to November to continue this work within our schools. In September, our coaches and our teacher leaders that participated in this grant will briefly introduce the targeted practice and why it is important. Some of our ReSet teachers will share examples of sharing student work in their classroom that benefited from using technology and the value of using that technology. Our coach will show the 3-minute introductory video for sharing student work. And ReSet teachers are going to be asked to comment on some of the key decisions they made in the lessons they previously shared. Then between the months of September and October, we already have within our buildings PLCs where departments meet regularly. So each teacher will go through part 1 of the online module. So this is all asynchronous work on sharing student work. It's about 5 to 8 hours at their own pace. Our coaches in our buildings will serve as the facilitator and will respond and reflect and question and monitor as staff are completing those assignments. During their regularly scheduled PLC meeting in October, coaches will facilitate a conversation around what was learned from part 1 of the module and identify classroom implementation. Coaches will then introduce part 2 of the module and go over the reflective journal template, expectations, and any questions as needed. Between the months of October and November meetings, our teachers are going to be finding meaningful opportunities to use technology to enhance the way students are asked to share their work and document those experiences in their journal. Part of the weekly PLC meetings are going to be devoted to sharing those experiences with a ReSet teacher assigned to facilitate that session. ReSet teachers will also be encouraged to contribute their own insights as well as their own examples. Optional, we're going to encourage staff to utilize a swivel recording device. And if they want to record some of their lessons when they use this technology to enhance the sharing of student work, they may do so and share any snippets with their colleagues during PLC meetings. During the November, our coach will ask selected teachers to share in more detail about their experiences, and they will facilitate a conversation around lessons learned about sharing student work and plans to use technology to support this practice moving forward. So this is just first semester in our sustainability plan as we work toward the second semester, which we will pick another high leverage teaching practice and work on creating an asynchronous module to continue this work. All in all, this project was successful overall in meeting the goals and objectives, but on a much smaller scale than was originally anticipated as Elmira City School District became the sole district in the consortium that participated for all 3 years. The impact of this grant on the Elmira City School District is significant as participating secondary teachers learned how to integrate technology in their lesson plans, and teacher leaders and curriculum coordinators further develop their skills and leadership capacity to effectively support classroom teachers' scaffolded implementation of technology integrated instruction. We are thankful for the Learning Technology Grant and the ReSet project, and we look forward to sustaining our learning. If you would like any more information on our ReSet project, feel free to reach out to Jay Hillman, who is the program director, or myself, Alicia Bubb, as the project coordinator. Thank you very much.